It's like having a child. It's like having a baby. You go through all of the whatever you have to go through in order for that child to come through, to come forth. And after
Hmm.
it is done, you're so happy. You're in your bliss. You're in just, oh, it's just that you don't remember the pain. You don't remember all that you did
Hmm.
day in and day out. Now, there are
Hmm.
some mothers who do say, "Do you know what I went through?" And, some of them say it in jest, and then others are very serious. I went through all of that pain in order for you to be here. But
Hmm.
mostly, as mothers, we don't remember the quote pain. So in life, when we go through life, as we go through life, it is the knowledge of what the incident or the situation was that we remember, not necessarily the pain in it. We remember that it was uncomfortable. It wasn't, that's not something we will go through again, but we are not fixed in this pain, not unless we
Hmm.
are accepting that we are victims. And that's why, as Black people, as brown people, as people of the sun, star children, we've been able to move through because we don't consider ourselves as a whole being to be a victim. That's not in our vocabulary, really, not unless we choose it.
Hmm.
So it depends on what we choose as we're flowing through this energetic space called life. How we choose to feel. Like I say, we don't have to do anything. You don't have to do anything.
Hmm.
And some people, as we grow up, you have to do that. That is what you have to do. You're supposed to do this way, wear this, look like that, speak like that, you know, sound like this. You have
Hmm.
to do it that way. No, there is no. And Black people, again, on a whole, we don't feel like there's a have to, really. We've been conditioned, brainwashed. It has been, our way has been taken away, the physical way. But the
Hmm.
spiritual way, psychological way, the spiritual way, the soul way is here. It can never be taken away. So that's something we chose, which is why we're Black. We already chose that. And that's why we're Black. That's why we're brown. That's why
Hmm.
we're melanated, however you want to say it. That is why we are the source. That's why we are aware of the source and that we are the source. We are source. We're closer to that
Hmm.
because we've chosen a way to be. And we've unlocked the doors, all of the doors. Some of us, because of, again, conditionings, brainwashing, things like that, have chosen to close those doors behind us and sometimes lock them. We always have the ability, though, because of who we are, melanated, to open and unlock the door. We have those keys. We just have them. There is
Okay.
no there's no space in any space where we do not. We have the key and the ability to open the doors. We have the ability to cause um, 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 walkways to happen, roads to be paved, bridges to be just made or eliminated. We have that. We have the keys for that. We already have the keys for that. This built in to our DNA, to the melanin.
Okay.
So,
So what stops us? you were it seems you were challenged. Your body stopped you and said, you got you're doing too much, sister, and you made some adjustments. What stops us?
From what stops us? We don't listen to
What's
our people.
hmm
We don't listen,
Okay.
and as I say, my people, it's it's my ancestors. It's my angels. It's my spirit guides. It's my however you want to say them. Um,
hmm
Whenever I left my body, and usually it was when I was very tired. So um, I would leave and just go do stuff. And and people would come and say, "You were at my house yesterday, but you gave me something." I was always giving people things. That was a thing. But every once in a while, I'd have a little trip and it wouldn't feel right. And one of my people would bring me back. And it was this tall, she had to have been 9, 11 feet tall. And it was a woman, brown skin, a lighter brown skin, kind of a dusky, darker, lighter brown skin. And
hmm
she would she would bring me back or just make sure I got back. It wasn't like she'd bring me back. She would just, you know, and she would be at the bottom of always at the bottom of my bed. And she'd have this little crazy grin on her face, like, see, nothing's wrong with you. What are you doing? And she would squeeze my big toe on my left foot. See, you're here. You're okay. And that was it. She was the one after I decided that I couldn't, I would have to let them go for a while because people were too afraid when I saw. So so I'd ask them, could you guys just step back for a little while? Uh, and that's when I started getting really sick when they stepped back. And that was my
So,
choice. And
okay,
I,
so hold on, wait. This is a lot. So, how did how did other people know you were seeing them? Were you telling people what you were experiencing?
I was very open with it. It was normal.
Okay,
It was like me
okay.
talking to you. It was normal. It was so normal. So I would say, yes, there's this person, there's that person, and they would come to me, people who had passed, and which way do I go? I don't know where to go. What's happening? Some of them would be very upset, and some of them would just ask, like, which way do I go? I'm not sure. Some of them
hmm
would come just in a breath, and some of them would come in form, but not form, and they'd be confused because maybe they left quick
hmm
or something happened.
Okay.
But later on, someone told me that there are people like me that do that. So, but
Yeah,
being
that is their work. Yeah.
yes, but being younger, that was part of my work. Being younger and people saying they're ghosts. You're not supposed to see them. Oh, there's nothing there. There's nothing there. So I was just like, okay, they're scared. They're scared for me. They're scared of me. So can I just stop
hmm
seeing you guys for a while? And and
So, but when you asked them and you got sicker when you asked them to step back, did you make the connection that that's why you were getting sick? How old were you at that time? Give us
I
an
was
age at that time.
that was 7, 8, 9, around there again.
Okay.
Yeah.
So were you able to make the connection that as you were getting sicker, it was because your people were no longer upholding you?
No, I was too young. I didn't. All I knew is that
Okay.
my family, my physical family, was afraid of me, and they were treating me in a certain way that I wasn't comfortable with. Um,
Okay. But
and
didn't some of them have sight too?
they did, and they decided that they didn't, and they mocked me or tried to make it seem like I wasn't well because I continued it.
Hmm.
Mine was
Okay.
a lot stronger, I guess, but they they let either most of their sight go or all of it. And like my father, he let his sight go. In fact, his family told him, "You let your sight go, or we will be persecuted, and it'll be your fault." So he
Mm-hmm.
let his sight go.
Mm-hmm.
Although through his work, he used
Yeah.
it. So, um, but yes, I was too young. All I was concerned about it that in those moments was that my family, I was hurting my family, and
Hmm. Okay.
I didn't want to do that. So that was my young, you know. As I grew older, I was still, I was still in that way. I didn't want to be different. I wanted to be in the spaces where other people were and be okay. You know, I didn't want to be weird
Hmm.
or whatever.
Yeah, we wanted to fit in. You just get it to a certain age, you just want to fit in.
Right, right, right. But it would always end up that I'd be on my own. And I really loved it that way because I was never alone. Um, and that was the part that I got comfortable with. That was the part I got comfortable with. Now, in having the near death experiences, instead of leaving my body on a regular, I had near death
Hmm.
experiences. It was the same thing. It's just
So what brought the first one about? What actually, because most people think near death experience, you're in a car crash and
I
you leave
had
your body and you go through this traumatic thing. What happened?
they're mostly the asthma attacks and not knowing that my heart was involved.
Mm. Hmm.
So it was
Hmm.
when I was young and I took the pharmaceutical drug and I left and I knew that I had left. It was a little different
Mm.
than just being out of my body, and it was a little different. And then again, it happened when I was older, and then after I had my children, I was in the hospital. Again, it was asthma, and they were just finding out that my heart was doing things in my 30s, my early 30s. The last, uh,
Mm.
was it in my 30s? Yeah, my no, in my later 20s and my early 30s. Yes. That's when I
Okay.
had the heart surgeries. So, yes. Um,
So what was the difference in what you experienced in the near death experience as opposed to just leaving your body intentionally?
it was that I knew I was going. I knew it. You know, I knew I would be going somewhere. Or it was again, it was just normal. So
Hmm.
I would just walk somewhere. And that's the only way I can express it because it's not really walking. Um, you're
Right.
you're just going in between spaces. And then you can walk out into the open, or you can stay between the spaces, or you can make up what the spaces are. You know, that kind of thing. But that's a whole nother story. That's a whole nother show. But um,
Hmm.
having a near death
Right.
experience, you're at the end. You're tired, you've had an accident, you're over your limit, your heart stops, whatever.
Mm.
Um,
Hmm.
that's the near death experience with the just leaving your body. You know that that's what's happening. Um,
Okay. Okay.
so with the near death
So,
experience, it's the same though. It is the
mhm.
same. It's another experience, which I'm really glad that I had because I know what it's like to just leave. And it's very fluid, it's very nice. And the near death experience is a little bit more, um, oh man, what you're seeing,
Is it more complete?
I would say that it's more physical.
Is okay.
It's more
Okay.
physical. You don't have a body, but you feel more, if that makes sense.
Mm.
You feel more
It
like
it
you're,
does to me.
yeah, like you're in your body.
It it, it is it looks the equivalent I have is what I understand the way I intersee when people who are maybe people who are physically blind
Hmm,
and they
hmm.
hear music more vibrantly.
Yes.
It's more they might even hear the colors of music.
Yes.
So I'm attributing that to what you're saying. When you left your body, life itself was just bigger and broader and brighter and
Hmm.
more exaggerated than what we experience in this muted state of physical body.
Now, this is
Um,
interesting, and I'm so glad you said it like that. You always have the best, you always say the best things because on the other side and in different spaces, there is brightness, there is color,
mhm,
there is muted. In the muted spaces, the brightness is still there. In the muted spaces, the
mhm,
sound is still vibrant. In the muted spaces, the colors, the sound, the the the, the bliss, the joy, all of that, the language, the information, the history, the oh my goodness, it's so much and so big and vast and wonderful
mhm,
in those muted spaces, in the dark,
mhm.
in the dark.
Okay.
It is bigger. The darker it is, the more amazing it is. And people, we talk about the light, and when I had the near death experience, especially the last one, there was the light and it was very bright. It was like, okay, if we actually looked at it, it would blind us or whatever. And there was the tunnel and
Mhm,
all of that. This was before I knew anything about near death experiences. I had no idea what it was. And when I did, uh, when I spoke, and whatever was speaking back to me, just said, not yet, but there'll be a place for you when you're ready. The voice was not a male or female. In fact, I questioned the voice because at first the voice was female, and then or the
mhm.
communication, and it came to me like a voice because that's how I would accept it, and I get that.
Right, right, right,
So a
right.
feminine
Mhm.
voice, and I said, hey, you guys, this is not right because God is supposed to be a man, right? And I'm giggling the whole time. You talk about blissed out. I was messed up. I was blissed out. And I'm giggling and I can't control it. I explain, and I thought
Wow.
God's supposed to be a man. And the voice started changing into a male voice. And then all of a sudden,
For
there was
you.
no male or female.
Mm,
All of a
mhm.
sudden there was just the communication because I questioned.
Right, right, right. It goes with where you are. But you know what? Our time is up. I am so sad to say. But we're going to continue. It's not going to be a continuation because the conversation always goes somewhere wherever it guides itself. So
Yes.
this weekend on June 13th, you will be in Tuskegee at the Holistic Health Expo, at the Healing House Holistic Health Expo. And at 11 o'clock in the morning Central Time, you will provide a sound bath.
Mhm.
And at 1 o'clock, we're having a birthday party for Cheryl Parker and all the June people. Then at 4 p.m., we have a drum circle. Brother Barry Johnson will be coming down from Birmingham, and he does the most magnificent educational, make you want to move and shake drum circles.
He
And
does.
then at 6 o'clock, you will also you'll be again giving an inner seeing talk similar to what we did today, and you're going into talking about our connection with one another and what's going on right now in the world. And what else will you be addressing? Give us about 30 seconds of what you'll be talking about.
I will be talking about, yes, where we are now. I'll be talking about all the beautiful things that are coming and are here and our involvement in it. And we want to be prepared to receive this beauty, this wonderful. And I want to talk specifically about the water people and my experience that I had in Massachusetts this past, whenever that was, when that big storm happened in the and the what was that
Mhm.
meteorite fell. I want to make sure that I say that. I tell people that experience. It really fits into
Okay.
everything that's going on right now.
Marvelous. I am so looking forward to it. So, again, family, this has been Naima Soulsayer, and you're welcome to come to the Holistic Health Expo. You can go to Healing House at Peace Place. That's Healing House, the word at spelled out, peaceplace.com. Get information. You can pre-register. It's $25 for each session, and we're looking forward to seeing you here. And yay! Thank you, Sister Naima, again for joining me. You
Yes, yes,
are
yes.
spectacular.
Well, you are spectacular yourself.
Thank you, sis.
Thank you.
Family, until we see each other again or hear each other, be peaceful, productive, and empowered. Shemhotep.
Let's talk about health. Let's talk about food. Let's talk about the mental, the emotional, and the spiritual. Good. Let's talk about it.